proprietor, intimate friend of the great and near great. Last week found his celebrated wit, no weapon with which to combat an injured hip. The Falstaffian Mr. Whiteside, trekking across the country on one of his annual lecture tours, met his Waterloo in the shape of a small piece of ice on the doorstep of Mr. and Mrs. Ernest W. Stanley of Visalia, Ohio.
Result, canceled lectures and disappointment to thousands of adoring club women in Omaha, Denver, and Point West.
For the result, the idol of the airwaves rests until further notice in home of surprise, Mr. and Mrs. Stanley. Possibility? Christmas may be postponed this year. What's that mean?
A small piece of ice on the doorstep of Mr. and Mrs. Think of it!
Of course, if it were my house, Daisy, I'd have a bronze plate put on the step right where it fell.
Well, of course, I felt just terrible. He just never goes to dinners anywhere anymore, and then he agreed to come here, and then this had to happen. Poor Mr. Whiteside. But it would be so wonderful having him here with us, even if it is just for a little while. Think of it. We'll sit around in the evenings, discuss books, have plays, and all the great people he's known. Oh, and he'll talk in that wonderful way of his, and he may even read goodbye to Mr. Chapman.
I can't wait any longer. Mr. Whiteside. Ah, good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Ernest, he's getting up this morning. HUL's telephone for fun in every time. Look!
I don't like this kind of publicity at all, Daisy. When do you suppose he's going to leave?
He's only getting up this morning, Ernest. After all, he's had quite a shock. He's been in bed for almost 2 full weeks. He'll certainly need a few days to rest.
Well, I'm sure it's a great honor to be in the house, but it is a little upsetting. Phone going all the time, bells ringing, messenger boys running.
Pardon me, Mrs. Stanley, but have the cigarettes come yet?
Miss Cutler, what's that one for?
Oh, thank you very much.
This is Miss Cutler, Mr. Whiteside's secretary.
Oh. How do you do? May I move this chair?
You mean he's coming out? Now!
He is indeed.
He's coming out.
I can hardly breathe!
Mr. Whiteside, he's coming out!
Me too, I know that I'll simply die.
Well, good morning, good morning. Well, here we all are, merry and bright. Bring out our little patient this spring.
I may vomit.
My name is Miss Ernest Stanley.
Telephone. I sleep until noon and must have wife at the house until that hour. There'll be 5 for lunch today. With Mr. Whiteside, if I may... You may not, sir. Will you take your clammy hands off my chair? You have the touch of a sex dog cobra. Now, will you all think quietly, or must I ask my secretary to pass among you with a baseball bat?
Well, goodbye, Daisy. We'll call you. Oh, no, we mustn't use the phone.
Look here, there is nothing to discuss, sir. Considering the damage I've suffered at your hands, I'm asking very little. Good day. I'll call you from the office later, Daisy. Not on this phone, please. Here is the menu for lunch.
I've already ordered lunch.
It will be sent up to you on a tray. I'm using the dining room for my guests. Where are those cigarettes?
Wait for them, Mr. Whiteside. I don't know why he's so... Here, Sarah. Here's the menu for lunch. I'll have mine upstairs on a tray.
Young lady, I cannot stand indecision. Will you either go up those stairs or come down them?
Hello, Mr. Whiteside. Here are those cigarettes you wanted. I'm sorry it took so long. I had to go to 3 different stores.
You've gone long enough to have a baby. There a man in the world who suffers as I do from the gross inadequacies of the human race. Where are you off to, Miss Green? Go in and read the life of Florence Nightingale and see how unfitted you are for your chosen profession.
Well, I think I can safely leave you in Miss Cutler's capable hands. Shall I look in again this afternoon?
If you do so, I shall spit right in your eye.
What a sense of humor you writers have. By the way, it really isn't worth mentioning.
I was hounded and badgered into it. I now find myself, after 2 weeks of racking pain, accused of being without charm. What would you have me do? Kiss them?
Very well, Cherry. After 10 years, I should have known better than to try to do anything about your marriage. But after I finally give up this job, I may just write a book about it all. Through the years with Prince Charming.
Listen, Repulsive, you are tied to me with an umbilical cord made of piano wire, and now you may dismiss the subject of my charm, for which, incidentally, I receive $1,500 per appearance. Possibly we can get to work. Oh, no, we can't. Yes!
My name is Harriet Stanley. I know you are Sheridan Whiteside. I saw this holly framed green against the pine trees. I remembered what you had written about Tess and Julia McCure. It was the nicest present I could bring.
God sake, what was that?
That so nicely put. Was Mr. Stanley's sister, Harriet. I've talked to her a few times. She's so strange.
Strange, she's right out of the Hound of the Baskervilles. No, I've seen that face somewhere before.
Nonsense, you couldn't tell.
Anyway, let's get back to work. Here, press this in the doctor's book. I see no reason why I should endorse maid-form brassieres. What you want now, Miss Bedpan?
Eat your pills. One every 45 minutes.
Now, where were we?
Isn't that his letter from that dear friend of yours, Lorraine Sheldon?
Let me see it.
Cherry, my poor sweet lamb has been in Scotland on a shooting party with Lord and Lady Cunard, and only just heard of your poor sweet tip. I'm down here in Surrey with Lord Bottomley, sailing Wednesday on the Normandy, and cannot wait to see my poor sweet Cherry, your blossom girl, Lorraine. In the voice of the master, I may vomit.
No, can't be better just because Lorraine is more beautiful than you are.
Lorraine Sheldon is a fair example of that small but vicious circle you move in.
Pure sex jealousy if I ever saw it. Hand me the rest of those, will you?
Lorraine Sheldon, Lord Bottomley, my Aunt Kelly.
Oh, it's from Destiny's Tot.
Oh, England's little rover boy.
Dear baby's breath, what is this I hear about a hip fractured in some bordello brawl? Does this mean our Hollywood Christmas parties are? Finished the new play in Pago Pago and it's superb. Myself and a ukulele leave tomorrow. From Honolulu in that order. By the way, the Sultan of Zanzibar wants to meet Ginger Rogers. Let's face it, Oscar
Oh,
Wilde.
he does travel, doesn't he? You know, it would be nice if the world went around Beverly Carlton for a change.
Hollywood next week. Why doesn't he stop over on his way to New York? Or send him a cable. Beverly Carlton, Royal Hawaiian Hotel, Honolulu. If these people intend to have the frenzy
What
in
would
front...
you have them do? Use a rope
I will
ladder.
not have a lot of cuss bags all in and out while I am... There's nobody home. The Stanleys have been arrested for white slavery. Go away.
How do you do, Mr. Whiteside? I'm Jefferson of the Massalia Journal.
Get rid of him.
I'm sorry, but Mr. Whiteside is seeing no one. So will you please excuse us? Good day.
Well, Mr. Whiteside seems to be sitting up and taking notice.
Well, I'm afraid he's not taking notice of the Daily Journal. Do you mind?
You know, if I'm going to be insulted, I'd like to be by Mr. Whiteside himself. I never did like carbon copies.
Touche if I ever heard one. And in Massalia too, Maggie dear.
Will you please
So, how about the interview, Mr. Whiteside?
I never she had been dead for 3 days, she looked better than you do now. You're about to say,
I can at least report to my readers that chivalry is not yet dead.
well, now that you have won me over with your pretty ways, what would you like to know?
Well, how about a brief talk on famous murders? You're an authority on murder as a fine art.
My dear boy, when I talk about murder, I get paid for it. I've made more money out of the Snyder Gray case than the lawyers did, so don't expect to get it for nothing.
Well then, what do you think of Massalia? How long are you going to be here? Where are you going next? Things like that.
Very well. A, Massalia is a town of irresistible charm. B, I cannot wait to get out of it. And C, I'm going from here to Crockfield for my semi-annual visit to the Crockfield home for Old Thunder, for which I've raised over $500,000 in the past 5 years. From there, go to New York. Have you ever been to Crockfield, Jefferson?
No, I haven't. I always meant to go.
Well, as a newspaper man, you ought to, instead of wasting your time here with me. Did you ever hear how Crockfield got started, Jefferson?
No, I haven't.
Oh, sit down, my boy. Make yourself comfortable. You're about to hear one of the most endearing and touching stories of our generation. One misty St. Valentine's Eve. The year was 1901. A little old lady who had given a name to an era, Victoria, lay dying in Windsor Castle. Maud Adams had not yet tripped across the stage as Peter Pan. Irving Berlin had not yet written the first note of a ragtime rigadoon that was to set the nation beat its happy. And Elias P. Crockfield was just emerging from the state penitentiary. Destitute, embittered, cruel of heart, he wandered on the St. Valentine's Eve to a little church. But there was no godliness in his heart that night, no prayer upon his lips. In the faltering twilight, Elias P. Crockfield made his way to the poor box. With callous fingers, he ripped open the poignant testimony of a simple people's faith. Greedily, he clutched at the few pitiful coins within. And then, a young child's wavering treble broke the twilight stillness. "Please, Mr. Man," said a young girl's voice, "won't you be my Valentine?" Elias P. Crockfield turned. Why, there stood before him a bewitching little creature of 5. Her golden curls cascading over her shoulders like a golden Niagara, and in her tiny outstretched hand, a humble Valentine. In that one single moment, a sealed door opened in the heart of Elias P. Crockfield, and in his mind was born an idea. 25 years later, 3,000 ruddy-cheeked convicts were cavorting on the broad lawns of Crockfield home, frolicking in the cool depths of its swimming pool, broadcasting with their own symphony orchestra from their own radio station. Elias P. Crockfield has long since gone to his maker. But the little girl, with the golden curls, now grown to lovely womanhood, is known as the Angel Crockfield, for she is the wife of the warden. And in the main hall of Crockfield, between a Rembrandt and an El Greco, there hangs, in a simple little frame, Uncle Valentine.
And in the men's washroom every Christmas Eve, the ghost of Elias B. Crockfield appears in one of the booths. Will you sign this, please?
This aging debutante of Mr. Jefferson I retain in my employ only because she is the sole support of her two-headed brother.
I understand. Well, you've been very kind, Mr. Whiteside. By the way, I'm a cribbage player if you're looking for one while you're in town.
Fine, how much can you afford to lose?
Well, I usually win.
We won't discuss it. Come back at 8:30 and we'll play three-handed with Elsie Dinsmore. Matt! Oh, you wonderful Beetlehound, what are you doing here?
I explained, Jerry. First, I kissed Master Magic.
Oh, Matt, darling, what a wonderful surprise.
The enchanted Matt Jefferson was then in the presence of Professor Adolf Metz, the world's greatest authority on insect life.
How do you do?
Very shy.
Matt, stop looking at me adoringly and tell me why you're here.
You are sick, Sherry, so I come to cheer you.
Jefferson, he lived for 2 years in a cave with nothing but plant lice. He raised 3 papers in the Encyclopedia Britannica. Don't you, my little hookworm?
Please, Sherry, you embarrass me. Look, I have brought treatment to while away the hours. As I said to my students, both
we made for you. A community of Planta Americana, commonly known as the American cockroach. Behold, Shari, Roach City. Inside are 10,000 cockroaches.
10,000! Sarah, 10,000 bloody cockroaches!
In front of me, there will be 50,000.
Oh, if all goes well, what could go wrong if they're in there?
Quiet, please.
You can watch them, Jack. But they live up their whole lives. Look, here's their maternity hospital. Isn't it fascinating? They do everything that human beings do.
Well,
Please, Maggie, these are my cockroaches. Oh, go ahead, Mets.
With these earphones, sir, you can listen to them making calls. Your microphone's down inside. Listen.
How long has this been going on?
Planta Americana. There are cockroaches in this house.
I beg your pardon. Mr. Whiteside, I don't know who this man is, but I will not stand here and...
Then go upstairs. Oh, these must be my luncheon guests. Oh, Jeff, managed to save for the day, of course.
Certainly.
Jefferson, you're staying for lunch. Oh, Maggie, tell them there'll be 2 more. Come right in, Baker. Gentlemen. These are the fruits of that humble Valentine. These men, now serving the final month of their prison terms, have chosen to enter the ivy-covered walls of Crockfield. They have come here today to learn from me of the Roberts tradition. Gentlemen, I envy your great adventure. Say, you might look like Butcher Shumper. Thought I recognized you. Jefferson, the last fellow, is Henderson, the hatchet thief. Always chopped him up in the salad bowl, remember?
Oh, yes. Lunch is ready, Mr. Whiteside.
Good, let's go right in.
Can I help you?
Thank you. We're having chicken liver tetrazzini and cherries jubilee for dessert.
What?
Oh, now, Henderson, we wouldn't want to put temptation in your path. Oh, and I hope every little tummy left on the cashew juices. Oh, and John, close the door. We don't want lots of people prying in on that fat.
Yes, sir.
We're all in class. She may be weary. Women do get weary. Wearing the same shabby dress. And when she's weary, try a little tenderness. You know she's waiting. Just anticipating things she may never possess. While she's without me, try a little tenderness.
Marcus Green, Lillian Russell, and I wait to find you.
Your medicine, Mr. Whiteside.
What time is it?
About 6:30.
Where's Miss Cutler?
You went out
Out?
with Mr. Jefferson.
Sarah's got a little surprise for you, Mr. Whiteside. Special.
She has. Where is she? Oh, my little souffle queen.
Ow, here I am, Mr. Whiteside.
She walks in beauty like the
Go on.
Let me taste the new goodie. Poetry. Sheer poetry.
I put in the absinthe in the dough. Do you like
And
it?
ambrosia.
And I got some terrapin melons for dinner.
I've known but 3 great cooks in my time. The Khedive of Egypt has one, my great aunt Jennifer another, and the third, Sarah, is you.
Ow, Mr. Whiteside.
How would you like to come to New York with me? You and John.
What, Mr. Whiteside? You're going to teach me right away?
You would be wonderful, Mr. Whiteside, but what will we say to Mr. and Mrs. Stanley?
Just goodbye.
They'd be awfully mad, wouldn't they? They've been very kind to us.
Well, if they ever come to anyway? A sailor?
Just washing my hands.
What time did Mrs. Cutler go out?
A couple of hours ago.
Mr. Jefferson phoned her?
Yes, sir.
All right, go back to your little sex life. I'd be delighted.
Look, here I am with my first sweetheart under our lovely beechwood trees. I was 8 and he was 10, and I have never forgotten him. What happy times we had.
I tell you, I'm going to.
There's someone coming. I'll come back. No, Ernest, please.
Be quiet, Daisy. Mr. Whiteside, I have to talk to you. I don't care whether you're busy or not. I have stood all that I am going to stand.
Indeed.
This is the last straw. I have just received a bill from the telephone company for $784. Oklahoma City, Calcutta, Hollywood, Australia, Rome, New York, New York, New York, New York. Now I realize, Mr. Whiteside, that you are a distinguished man of letters.
Yes, of course. We both do.
Please. But in the past week, we have not been able to call our souls our own. We have not had a meal in the dining room once, and I have to tiptoe out of the house in the morning.
No, Ernest.
Oh, I come home to find convicts sitting at my dinner table, butcher shop murderers, a man putting cockroaches in the kitchen.
They just escaped, Ernest.
That's not the point. I go home, and I go to my bathroom, and bump into 22 Chinese students that you invited here. I told you I won't stand for it no matter who you are.
Have you quite finished?
No, I have not. I go down in my cellar this morning and bump into that octopus that Winnie Davy sent you. I tell you, I won't stand for it, Mr. Whiteside. I want you to leave this house as soon as you can. Go to a hotel. Stop behind me, Daisy! That's all I have to say, Mr. Whiteside.
And quite enough, I should think. May I remind you again, Mrs. Stanley, that I'm not a willing guest in this house. I've been informed by my doctor that I must remain quiet for at least another 10 days, at which time I will get out of here so quickly that the wind will knock you over, I hope. If, however, you insist on my leaving before that, thereby causing me to suffer a relapse, I shall sue you for every additional day that I'm held inactive, which will amount, I assure you, to a tidy sum.
This is outrageous, outrageous!
As for the details of your petty complaints, those 22 Chinese students came directly from the White House, where I assure you they used the bathroom too.
Mr. Whiteside.
Yes, I did. I meant every word of it.
There is only one point in which you make in which I can see some slight justice. I do not expect you to pay for my telephone calls, and I shall see to it that restitution is made. Can you provide me with the exact amount?
I certainly can, and I certainly will.
Good. I shall instruct my lawyers to deduct it from the $150,000 that I'm suing you for. Good day.
Ah!
Oh, and I should thank you not to trip over that octopus, which once belonged to Chauncey Depew.
Ah!
Hello, operator. Give me the Miss Alia Journal. Hello, Miss Alia Journal. Yes, is there Mr. Jefferson there? He's not, eh? All right. No message. Thank you. Come here, you two. Come on. I'm not going to bite. Now, look here. I'm by nature a very gracious and charming person. If I veer at it is on the side of kindness and amiability. Well, I have been observing you two for this past week, and you seem to me to be extremely likable young people. Well, I'm afraid that when we first met, I was definitely unpleasant to you, and for that I'm sorry. And I would appreciate it in the future that you did not treat me like something out of Edgar Allan Poe. Do you like my new tie?
Thank you, Mr. Whiteside. That makes things much pleasanter. And I think the tie is very pretty.
Well, Mr. Whiteside, now that we're on speaking terms, I don't mind telling you that I have been admiring all your ties.
Well, do you like this one?
Well, I certainly do.
It's yours.
Well, thanks, Mr. Whiteside.
Really? This curious legend that I'm a difficult person is pure fabrication. Kidding, eh? Me, I used to cut figure eights myself. On and on with Betsy Ross I did, waving the flag behind
one. Will you send it to her, Sherry? Will you read it tonight?
No, I will not read it tonight or any other time. And while we're on the subject of Mr. Jefferson, you might ask him if you wouldn't mind paying your wages, as he takes up all your time.
Oh, come now, Sherry. It isn't as bad as that.
Really, I haven't even been able to reach you, not knowing which haylofts you frequent.
Stop acting like a spoiled child.
Don't take that patronizing tone with me, you bleeding Cleopatra. I'm sick and tired of you sneaking out every time my back is turned, like some lovesick high school girl.
Well, Sherry, you're ready to hit the nail on the head.
Oh, stop acting like Sergeant Prince and explain yourself.
I'll make it quick. I'm in love!
Nonsense. This is merely delayed puberty.
No, I'm a big mistake. You're going to be the very excellent secretary.
You're out of your mind.
Yes, I am. But our girl has waited a long time for this to happen, Sherry, and now it has. Mr. Jefferson doesn't do it yet, but I'm going to try my darndest to marry him.
That's all.
Yes, except that, well, I suppose that's what made me call my resignation. As soon as you got somebody else.
Now look here, Maggie. We've been together for a long time. You're indispensable to me. Well, and I think I'm unselfish enough not to let that stand in the way where your happiness is concerned. Well, because whether you know it or not, I have a deep affection for you.
No, I know that, Sherry.
If that is the case, I will not stand by and allow you to make a fool of yourself.
I'm not, Sherry.
Oh, my dear, you are behaving like a who's talking to heroin. This is incredible. I cannot believe that girl who, for the past 10 years, has had the grace of the world served up on a platter before. Well, I cannot believe that this is something other than a kind of temporary insanity, which she has swept off of her feet in 7 days by some small-town, second-rate newspaper boy.
Oh, no, Sherry, I can't explain what's happened. I can only tell you that it's so, why, it's hard for me to believe, too. Here I am, a hard-bitten old cynic behaving like a true story magazine and liking it. Oh, discovering the moon and ice skating. Oh, I keep laughing to myself all the time, Sherry, but there it is. What can I do about it? I'm in love.
We're leaving tomorrow.
What?
Hip or no hip, we are leaving tomorrow. Give me a train schedule, Maggie, and start packing. I'll pull you out of this, Miss Stardust. I'll get those ants out of your
It's
moonlit
no
hands.
good, Sherry. It's no good. I'll be right back on that extreme line train.
It's incredible. Can you see yourself? Why did the editor in the Saley Journal sitting down to dinner with Mr. and Mrs. Stanley, Mr. and Mrs. Toothface, and the rest of the
No, Sherry, I've had 10 years of the great figures of our time, and don't think I'm not grateful to you for it. I've loved every minute of them. They've been wonderful years, Sherry. Gay and stimulating. I don't ever think anybody has ever had the fun that we've had. But a girl can't laugh all the time. There comes a time in a girl's life when she wants Bert Jefferson. Oh, you don't know Lord Sherry. He's gentle and he's unassuming and well, I love him, that's all.
I see. Well, I remain completely unconvinced. You are drugging yourself into this Joan Crawford fantasy, and before you become completely anesthetized, I shall do everything in my power to bring you to your senses.
Now listen here, Whiteside. I know you. Lay up! I know what a devil you can be. I've seen you do it to others, but don't you dare try to do it to me. Don't drug yourself into thinking that the only thing you're thinking of is my happiness. You're thinking of yourself a little bit too in all those months of breaking somebody new in. I've seen you in a passion before when you couldn't have your way. Well, that is too bad, but there it is. I am going to marry Mr. Jefferson if he'll have me. And don't you dare try any of your little tricks, because I am on to every one of them. And that is my message to you, big Lord Fauntleroy.
Hey, Dr. Bradley, I have some good news for you, too. I've been reading your book, 40 years. What is it?
40 years in Ohio, Doctor.
Yes, well, I consider it extremely close to being one of the greatest literary contributions of our time.
Mr. Whiteside.
So strongly do I feel about it, Dr. Bradley. Well, I have a proposition for you. Just here and there, the book is a little uneven, a little rough. And what I would like to do is stay Miss Elliot here and work on it.
Mr. Whiteside, I'd be really honored.
Yes, but there is just one difficulty. You see, if my lecture bureau and my radio sponsors were to hear that I'm well, I'd be forced to leave Miss Celia. Now, therefore, we must not tell anyone. Not anyone at all.
No,
I'm well.
not a soul, not even my wife.
That's fine.
Mr. Whiteside, why don't we start working on the book? I've got just one more patient that's dying, and then I'll be perfectly free.
Tomorrow morning, Doctor. This is a private call. Hello. Yes, this is Whiteside. Tomorrow morning,
Tomorrow
Doctor.
morning it is, Mr. Whiteside. Good night. You made me very proud, Mr. Whiteside. We're very proud to work with you.
Yes, very proud, Doctor. Hello. Yes, this is Whiteside. I'll put them through. Hello, my blossom girl. How are you? Oh, yes, I'm fine. I've got the best horse doctor in town. Oh, yes. Now, I have wonderful news for you, Lorraine. Now, listen closely. Now, there's this young newspaper man here in town. He's written this wonderful play. Now, Cornell would give her eyes to play it, but I think if you get out here right away, you can get it. No. Yes, he's young and attractive, this author. And, well, yes. You know, I think you're just the girl that can do it. Oh, yes? Now, don't send me any messages. Just get on a train and arrive. Oh, have a good trip, my dear. Goodbye, my blossom. Oh, Miss Green. God, you're looking radiant this evening.
I wanted to say that I was sorry for what I said. I'm afraid I was a little unjust.
Oh, it's fine, Maggie. We all lose our tempers every now and then.
I promised Bert that we go out to dinner and then she would be, but we'll come back and say instead.
Fine. Goodbye, Maggie, darling. Goodbye.
Merry month of May, sunny skies, as we roll away.
Oh, thank you, John.
Boy, I've never seen anyone give him any presents. I can hardly wait to see what's in it.
What are the open days, Conrad?
Well, you see, John, Christmas is Mr. Whiteside's personal property. He invented it, and it belongs to him. First thing tomorrow morning, he'll leave each and every one of those presents, and there will be the darndest bunch you ever saw.
Ah, look who he's got presents from. Charlie Temple, Jordan Lindbergh, Princess Elizabeth, and Clark Gable. Boy, I can hardly wait for tomorrow. Boy, it certainly is wonderful. And Mr. Whiteside's tree is so beautiful, too. Mr. Stanley and Mr. Dad in the bedroom, you know. They can hardly undress that boy.
Good evening, Mr. Jefferson. Merry Christmas. Hello, Meg. Merry Christmas, Sarah.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Jefferson. Ah, Mr. How cute.
Say, business is good, isn't it? Not only little fly black man on weekly radio. What did his sponsors give?
Oh, they give him a full year supply of their products, cream of mush.
Well, they give it right back to them over the air.
Wait until you hear tonight's broadcast, old fellow. It's so sticky, I haven't been able to get it off my fingers since I copied it.
I'll bet. Look, I'll come clean. Under the influence of God knows what, I bought you a Christmas present.
Why, Mr. Jefferson!
I'd like to see it before I throw away my hard-earned money. Can you come downtown and take a look at it with me?
But this is very sweet of you. I'm so touched. What is it? I can't wait.
Well, it's a 2-year
Yes, bring baby a lollipop, won't you? Miss Jefferson, I've enriched your people like beyond your capacity to repay me.
Yes, that's what I figured, so I'm not giving you anything.
I see. Well, I was going to give you my old trust, but now I shan't. Say, Maggie, what time are those radio men coming?
About 6:30 and I'll be here. We've got to cut Sherry in 4 minutes over. There's a cable from Beverly Carlton. He doesn't know what train he can catch out of Chicago, but he'll be here sometime.
Good. Is he staying overnight?
No, he's got to get right back out again. He says he's Friday at the Queen Mary.
You think I could peek in a window and get a look at him? Beverly Carlton used to be one of my heroes.
Used to be, you ink-stained act. Beverly Carlton is the greatest single talent in the English theater today. Oh, Maggie, take this alliteral out of my sight and don't bring him back.
Yes, sir, Mr. Whiteside. I won't come back until Beverly Carlton gets here.
Oh, where are we going? I want to know if you bought me. I'm like a 10-year-old kid.
You know, you look like a 10-year-old kid, Maggie, at that.
Hello, operator. Give me the mansion house. No, I do not know the number. Hello, mansion house. Yes, has a Miss Lorraine Sheldon arrived yet? A Miss Lorraine Sheldon from New York? She hasn't, eh?
Mr. Whiteside,
What do you want coming in like that? Why don't you knock before you come into a room?
but I wasn't coming in, I was coming out.
You are obviously in this room. That's true, isn't it?
Yes, it is, but...
Therefore, you came in. Here, actor, please knock.
There's some express you need with the crate, Mr. Whiteside. I told him to come around the trunk.
Thank you, John. Just stand on this green. You look like a frozen custard. Go away.
For you, Mr. Whiteside. Some kind of animal.
I'll say it's animals getting feed him at 7 o'clock this morning.
Who's it from, John?
Admiral Richard E. Burns. Say.
And the penguins. 2, 3, 4 penguins. Hello, my pretties.
Dredges are breeding right here on the top. Be careful, two of these flats are loose.
Got only whale blubber, eel, and cracked lobster.
They got Coca-Cola this morning.
Damn right.
Hello, hello, hello. You know they make the most entrancing companions, John. I want them put right in the library with me. Oh, take them right in.
Yes, sir.
Oh, and better have Sarah order a couple dozen lobsters.
Yes, sir.
I don't suppose there's any whale blubber in this town.
Good evening.
Oh, yes, there is.
Open, so I. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Doctor. I don't suppose you happen to know if eels are in season.
How's that?
Never mind. I was a fool to ask you.
Snatch, Mr. Whiteside. It seems so crowded in there.
Thank you, John.
Mr. Whiteside.
Goodbye, Doctor. I'm sorry you happen to drop in now. I have to do my yogi exercises.
Mr. Whiteside. Well, you know, when we're going to start working on that walk. Good evening, Miss Burns.
Good evening, Dr. Bradley.
not just a kid fooling around with a camera. They're good. It's what you ought to do. You ought to get out there and do some of those things you were telling me about. Just get on the boat and get off wherever it stops. Galveston, Mexico, Singapore, and work your way through and take pictures. Millions of them. Wonderful pictures, terrible pictures, everything.
Say, wouldn't I like to, though? It's what I've been dreaming of for years. Why, if I could do that, I'd be the happiest guy in the world.
Well, why can't you do it, Richard? If I were your age, I'd do it like a shot.
Well, you know why, Dad?
Richard, is this really what you want to do more than anything else in the world?
It certainly is.
Then do it.
Hello, Dick. Good afternoon, Mr. Whiteside.
Hello, Jude. So, Richard, I'm afraid it's up to you.
Well, thanks, Mr. Whiteside. You've been swelling, and I'll never forget.
Righto, Richard.
June, are you coming upstairs?
A few minutes, Richard.
Well, knock on my door, will you? I need to talk to you.
I will. Mr. Whiteside, I wanted to talk to you. Would you mind for a few minutes?
All right, my dear. I take it it's all about your young Lothario at the factory.
Yes, I just can't seem to make Father understand. It's like talking to a blank wall. He won't meet him, he won't even talk about it. What are we going to do, Mr. Whiteside? Sandy and I love each other. I don't know where to turn.
June, I'd like to meet your feel better than I have in years, and my only concern is news of the outside world. So take off that skunk and tell me everything. How are you, my dear?
Darling, I'm so relieved. You look perfectly wonderful. I've never seen you look better. Oh, my dear, do I look correct? I just dashed from New York, didn't do a thing about Christmas. Hattie Carnegie had my head on, and jumped right on the train. And of course, the Normandy coming back was simply hectic. Well, you know, it's simply exhausting. Chuck Whitney carrying a dog in a Prazo. Well, this was too exhausting. And of course, in London before that was so magnificent, my dear. Well, I simply never got to bed at all. Darling, I have so much to tell you, I don't know where to start.
Well, start with the third verse here. That's what I want to hear.
Let's see. Sybil Cartwright was thrown right out of Ciro's the night before I left, and she was wearing one of those new cellophane dresses, and you could absolutely see Trafalgar Square.
Oh, come. Well, what about you? What about your love life? I don't believe for a moment that you never got to bed at all, if you'll pardon the expression.
Oh, Sherry, dear, you're dreadful.
Well, what about that splendid bit of English mutton, Lord Botany? Haven't you booked him yet?
Oh, Sherry, please. He's a very dear friend of mine.
Now, Blossom girl, this is Sherry. Don't try to pull the bedclothes over my eyes. Don't tell me you wouldn't like to be Lady Blossoming with 100,000 pounds here and 12 tassels. By the way, every time I order Roquefort cheese, I think of those teeth.
Oh, Sherry, really? Oh, Caesar may not be brilliant, but he's rather sweet, poor lad. He's very fond of me. And he does represent Carmel's English way of living his life. Surrey and London for the season, shooting box in Scotland. Oh, that castle in Wales. You were there, Sherry, you know what I mean.
I do indeed.
Hey, Sherry, why not? If I bring Caesar, I don't see why I shouldn't. Shall I tell you something, Sherry? From something who said before I sailed that he's finally coming around to it. No, it's nothing definite. But don't be surprised if I am Lady Bottomley before very long.
Lady Bottomley? Won't Kansas City be surprised? However, I shall be a flower girl and give the groom an iron toothpick as a wedding present. Oh, come now, dear. Let's hear some more of your skullduggery. Mr. Whiteside. No, go away, I'm busy. Oh, he's facing the plum. Now, let's hear some more of your news.
Sherry, dear, what about this play? After all, I've come all the way from New York even on Christmas. I've been so excited since our phone call. Where is it? When can I read it?
Well, here's the situation. This young author named Bert Jefferson brought me the play with the understanding that I sent it to Kit Cornell. It's a magnificent part. God knows I feel disloyal as a kid.
Oh, Sherry.
Well, yes, I've done this much. Now the rest is up to you. He's young and attractive. Now just how you'll get him to persuade, well, that's up to you.
Darling, I'm so grateful to you. When is he? Does he know I'm here, Mr. Jefferson, I mean?
No. You'll meet him, and that's that. Get him to take you to dinner and work around the play. Good God, I don't need to tell you how to do these things. How do you get all those other parts?
Sherry? Oh, well, after all, I to the hotel and throw in something more extractive. I just dumped my bags and just rushed right over. Darling, you're wonderful.
All right. Now go, run in and get into your working clothes. Then come back and finish with By the way, guess who's paying us a flying visit tonight? None other than your old friend and co-star, Beverly Carlton.
Really? Beverly. I thought he was being glamorous again on a trip.
Oh, now. Mustn't be bitter just because he got better notices than you did.
Don't be silly, Sherry. I never read notices. It's just that I never heard actively again, that's all. He's not staying here, is he? I hope not.
Temper, no, he's not. Say, where'd you get that diamond clip, dear? That's a new bit of loot, isn't it?
Oh, this? Haven't you seen this before? On the Cedar Day, before his mother's birthday. She was absolutely furious. Now listen, darling. There's a taxi waiting outside. If I'm going to get back.
Beauty, I've just been given the most beautiful.
Oh, hello, Maggie. I knew you must be around here somewhere. How are you, my dear?
Santa's been at work, my pet. Blossom girl just dropped in out of the blue and surprised us, she did.
Hello, Marie.
What,
Dear girl, did you say she set fire to her mother? But I don't believe it. Sherry, my little one, not only have I written the finest comedy since Moliere, but also the best review since my last one, and an operator that frightens me. It's so good. I shall play it for 8 weeks in London, 6 in New York, and that's all. No matinees. Then I'm off to the Grecian Islands. Fine. Why don't you come along? Why don't you desert this little cannonball of fluff and come with me?
You're catching me at a good moment.
Now, Beverly, did you have a good time in Hollywood? How long were you there?
3 unbelievable days! They came for days to a shrine, but I was ruthlessly firm and insufferably charming in refusing $17 for 2 minutes' work.
Well, what about my banjo? Did you see my wonderful banjo in Hollywood?
I did get it dinner for me. I arrived in white tie tails, we met at the door by 2 bewinged butlers, who quietly proceeded to take my trousers off. I was transported. My legs were drawn to a room full of Norma Shearer, Claudette Colbert, and Aldous Huxley among others. Dear sweet, incomparable banjo.
Oh, I'll never forget that summer at Antibes, when Banjo put the microphone in Lorraine's mattress and then played the record the next day at lunch.
I remember! Is Lorraine being her own sweet, sleep-making self?
You wouldn't take it in Grecian Islands with you, would you, Beverly? Just for me.
No, Lorraine is a very charming person, who has gallantly given up her own Christmas to spend with me.
Oh, I knew I had a bit of dirt for us all to kneel on.
Mr. Whiteside, I was just...
No, Doctor, not now, go away!
Have you kidnapped someone, Shannon?
Yes, that was Bruno Hauptmann. Now, is this something juicy?
Juicy as a pomegranate. It is the latest report from London on the winter maneuvers of a Miss Lorraine Sheldon against the left flank. In fact, all flanks of a Lord Cedric Bottomley. Listen. Lorraine has just left us in a cloud of Chanel No. 4. Since September, in her relentless pursuit of his lordship, she has paused only to change girdles and check her oil. She has chased him, hunting, from castle to castle, till he finally took refuge, for several weekends, in the gentleman's lavatory of the House of Lords. Practically no one is betting on the Derby this year. We're all making book on Lorraine. She is sailing tomorrow on the Normandy, but will return on the Atlantic clipper if Bottomley so much as belches in her direction. Have you ever met Lord Cedric Bottomley, my dear?
Well, no, I haven't.
No. Not very much shooting today, basket. Only 6 partridges. 4 grouse. And the Duke of Suffolk. All patience for 3 hours. Dead at the end of it.
Beverly, you're making it up. Nobody sounds like that.
So good as uncanny. Beverly, why was you running out of here? I never knew that you were ungrateful Moppet.
Sherry, dear, I can only tell you that my love for you is so great that I changed trains to Chicago, spent 10 minutes with you. I wish you a Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, my lad. My little magpie.
Oh, Beverly.
Oh, and now we have time for just one magnificent number to give you a taste of how brilliant the whole thing is. It's the second number from my new review.
Would you get that, Maggie?
Hello? Oh, hello, Bert. Yes, he's here. Beverly, would you talk to your newspaper man? I kind of promised him.
Wait some time, magpie, unless he's under the piano.
But, Bert, no. Oh, well, yes, just a minute. Could you see him at the station for just 2 minutes before you go?
Well, fine. Wesley Gate, nobody cares what people say. Those are in the accent. Really much queerer than Rome at its height. Yesterday, no. I went to a marvelous party. The fun was intense. We had all to do what the people we knew would be doing 100 years hence. Dear, Cedric and Ryder wearing armor, feathers in a black feather boa. Poor Millicent wore a surrealist coat, made of bits of mosaic from St. Peter's in Rome. But the wait was so great that she had to go home. I couldn't have liked it once more.
Wonderful, Betsy.
Oh, Betsy, it's the best thing you've ever written.
Please let me say that.
Why, hello, Mr. Westcott.
Come right in, Westcott.
Oh, the airway, well, I shan't have to hear you, thank God. I shall be on a train.
Mr. Westcott, while you're going there, John, will you please show the Murph plug in to Tom Whiteside and say goodbye?
Better be my plan.
Oh, Cherie.
Maggie, what the hell are you?
Say goodbye.
I want you also understand why Cornell remains the first actress of our
Oh,
theater.
this is wonderful, Lorraine. Now, there's a plane out of Cleveland at 10:03. It takes about an hour to get there. Oh, it works out just perfectly, doesn't it, Sherry?
Peachy.
Maggie, what's the number of my hotel? I've got to get my maid started packing immediately. Miss Elliot, 32. Miss Elliot, 32, please. I sail Friday, 5-day boat. That means I ought to be in England by Wednesday. Hello, Mansion House? Yes, this is Miss Sheldon. Would you connect me with my maid, please? Oh, this is wonderful, isn't it, Sherry? I don't think I've ever felt more like Christmas in my life. Don't you, Sherry?
Shut your nasty little face!
We're leaving here tonight by plane and sailing Friday on the Queen Mary. I want you to get started packing immediately, and I'll call for you in about an hour. Got that? Right. Oh, now I want you to send me some cables for me, Cosette. Do you have a pencil? Right. Now the first one goes to Lord and Lady Canard. Oh, no, fine, Cosette, this is my little book. It's in my dressing case. Lord and Lady Canard, my darlings, returning Friday, Queen Mary. Cedric and I being married immediately upon arrival. I wanted you to be the first to know. Love, Lorraine. Now send what? Oh, thank you, Cosette. Thank you very much. Now send the same telegram to Lady Esther, Lord Beaverbrook, and my mother in Kansas City. Got that? All right. And I want you to send a cable to Hattie Carnegie in New York. Meet me, Sherry Netherlands, noon tomorrow with sketches of Bridal Gown and Trousseau, Lorraine Sheldon. Oh, and send a cable to Monsieur Pierre Cartier, Stephen. Will you hold in reserve for me the triple strand of pearls that I picked out in October? Cable me Queen Mary, Lorraine Sheldon. Got that? Oh, that's fine. Now you'll have to rush, my dear. I'll be there in about an hour. Goodbye. Oh, thank goodness for Cosette. Oh, she's the most wonderful maid in the world. I'd absolutely die without her. Well, life is really full of surprises, isn't it? Who would have thought that an hour ago I'd be going to London? An hour ago? No, I certainly wouldn't have thought it an hour ago.
Will this female drooling never stop? I have a violent headache.
Oh, Sherry, can I get you something? Now look here, Sherry. I'm sorry if I've offended you, but after all, my life is my own, and I...
Hello, everybody. Say, you know it's snowing out. We're going to have ourselves a real old-fashioned Christmas.
Why don't you telephone your scoop to the New York Times?
Bert, we Sheldon has to catch a plane out of Cleveland tonight. Can we drive over there, you and I?
Why, certainly. Sorry I have to go, Miss Sheldon. No bad news, I hope.
On the contrary, very good news, wonderful news!
Yes, wonderful news.
And he calls for a drink, I think. Why, Sherry, you're not being a very good host. How about a bottle of champagne?
Why, I can do better than that. Let me fix you a Jefferson special. Okay, Mr. Whiteside?
Yes. Mix anything, only stop dribbling.
Anybody admired my Christmas present yet, Maggie?
Oh, dear, I forgot. Look, everybody, from Mr. Jefferson. Oh, why, it's charming. Let me see it. Oh, and it's inscribed, too. To Maggie Long, may she wave Bert. Oh, and it's a lovely Christmas present, Maggie. Isn't it sweet, Sherry?
Ducky.
I know it was beautiful, Bert.
Well, shows what you did to save your coupons.
What's going on between you two, anyhow? Are you hiding something from us, Maggie?
Will you both stop this dribbling? Oh, my head is throbbing.
A Jefferson special will cure anything. Oh, by the way, I got a 2-minute interview with Beverly Carlton at the station. You were right, Mr. Whiteside. He's quite something.
Bert, why don't you go in there and mix those drinks?
On the fire. I was lucky to get even 2 minutes. He was in a telephone booth most of the time.
Bert, why don't you go in there and mix those drinks?
Okay. I couldn't understand what he was saying. By the faces he was making looked like a scene out of one of those
Bert, will
If
you
you please, Mr. Jefferson. Mr. Carlton was in a telephone booth at the station.
Well, he certainly was. I thought he'd never come out. He kept talking and making the damnedest faces for about 5 minutes.
Bert, my boy, I have an idea. I shall love the Jefferson special. Make me a double one, won't you? My My dear, you have just made the greatest love scene of your career with your old friend, Beverly Carlton.
What? I was talking to Cedric. What do you mean?
But that was Beverly who poured out your girlish heart to, not Lord Boston. Owing me, who would have thought 5 minutes ago that you would not be going to fight?
Sherry, I want this explained.
Explain. You heard the operator, my dear. All I can tell you is that Beverly was indulging in one of its famous bits of mimicry, that's all. Why?
Why don't you say something, Maggie?
Look, Bert, I suggest you tell us about this man.
Mr. Whiteside, I thought perhaps you had some time now.
You know what, Santa? I'm gonna lay placid for 3 weeks. Famous actress Lauren Sheldon? Well, we're gonna lay placid for 3 weeks.
Dr. Bradley, would you do me a favor? Mr. Jefferson would like some black coffee and a little breakfast. Would you take care of it, please?
Yes, of course.
Hey, Santa, I'm gonna buy some breath kisses for you. The biggest breath kiss you ever had. Santa, let's climb down some chimneys. I got a friend who don't believe in Santa Claus. Let's climb down his chimney and frighten the hell out of him.
I don't know if we're gonna fit.
Now listen here, Maggie. I'm willing to forgive this tawdry little outburst and talk about this calmly.
I love him so terribly. Oh, Shane. Shane, why did you do it? Why did you do it?
Merry Christmas, Mr. Whiteside. I'm afraid I shouldn't be seen talking to you, Mr. Whiteside. My brother is terribly angry. I just couldn't resist asking. Did you like my Christmas present?
I'm sorry, Miss Sandy. I haven't opened it yet. I haven't opened any of my presents yet.
Oh dear, I was so anxious to. It's right here, Mr. Whiteside. Why don't you open it now?
Thank you, Miss Sandy. Quite thoughtful of you. Quite lovely. Oh, I do so love old photographs. Thank you very much.
I was 22 when it was taken. That was my favorite dress. Do you really like it?
Oh, I do indeed. When I get back to town, I shall send you a little gift.
Will you? Oh, thank you, Mr. Whiteside. I shall treasure it. Well, I shall be late for church. Goodbye. Goodbye. Oh.
Santa's got to release surprise for me, Mr. Whiteside. Just take the other now.
Thank you, John. Miss Preen! Miss Preen!
Yes, sir. Oh, yes, sir.
Would you answer the door, please? John's upstairs.
All the others. Oh, look at Maggie! Maggie! Did you hear what I said, Maggie?
Banjo, banjo! For God's sake, banjo! Banjo, put that woman down. That's my nurse, you mental delinquent.
Come to my room in half an hour and bring some rye bread.
Get away from me, you're Because, well, I thought it was the best thing for her.
Sure, you haven't got to hear yourself in years. Gee, poor kid, can I go and talk to him?
No, leave it alone.
Is there anything I can do to help Sherry? Anything at all? Where's this guy?
Banjo. You don't want any bony horns or you pretending to be J. Edgar Hoover. I've been through that with you before. Now, I got Lorraine out here, and I have got to get her away.
It's got to be good, Sherry. Lorraine's no joke. There's got to be something you can do to get her out of here like a bat out of hell. Wait a second, I think I've got it. That fellow she's so crazy about in England. What's his name? Lord Bannier. Oh, Lord Bottomley. Yeah, that's it. Lord
No,
Bottomley.
Banjo,
No, you don't understand. We sent Lorraine a cablegram from Lord Bottomley.
I catch on, Banjo, and Lorraine caught on too. It's been tried.
I told you she's no joke. What we have here is a tough proposition on your hands.
The trouble is, it's so damn little time. Red tape away exactly. Damn. There must be some way out. The trouble is, I've done this job too well.
Stuck, huh?
In the words of one of our greatest lyric poets, you said it.
Yeah. Gee, I'm hungry. Say, we'll think of something, Sherry. You just watch. I'll get Lorraine out of here if I have to do it one piece at a time.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Whiteside! Merry Christmas! Excuse me. I've got something for you.
Oh, don't worry, Sarah. He's quite mad.
We shall dance. We shall dance in the snow.
Mr. Whiteside! Mr.
It means, Mr. Whiteside, that I'm leaving. My address is on the desk inside. You can send me a check.
You realize, Miss Green, that this is quite unprofessional?
I do indeed. I'm not only walking out on this case, Mr. Whiteside, but I'm leaving the nursing profession. I became a nurse because all my life, ever since I was a little girl, I was filled with the idea of serving a suffering humanity. After 1 month with you, Mr. Whiteside, I'm going to work in a munitions factory. From now on, anything that I can do to help exterminate the human race will fill me with the greatest of pleasure. If Lord Nightingale had ever nursed you, Mr. Whiteside, she would have married Jack the Ripper instead of founding the Red Cross.
You're not married, are you?
Never mind that, Daisy. Just take him upstairs. I have something to say to Mr. Whiteside.
What about Richard? Is there any news?
It's all right, Daisy. All under control. Just take him upstairs.
Father, haven't we had enough of your melodrama? I don't have to be taken upstairs. I'll go upstairs. Merry Christmas, Mr. Whiteside. It doesn't look good for John L. Lewis. Come on, Mother, lock me in my room.
I am pleased to inform you, sir, that your plans for my daughter seem to have gone a trifle awry. She is not, nor will she ever be, married to that labor agitator that you so kindly picked out for her. As for my son, he has been apprehended in Toledo and will be brought back within the hour, not having no gift for an invective, sir. I cannot tell you what I think of your obnoxious interference in my affairs. But I have now arranged that you will interfere no longer. Come in, gentlemen. These men are deputy sheriffs, and I have a warrant by which I am able to put you out of this house. And I need hardly add that it will be the greatest moment of my life. You have 15 minutes, Mr. Whiteside, in which to pack up and get out. If you are not gone in 15 minutes, Mr. Whiteside, these men will forcibly eject you. Thank you very much. Gentlemen, will you wait outside, please? 15 minutes, Mr. Whiteside. That means baggage, wheelchair, octopus, penguins, and cockroaches. I am now going upstairs to smash our radio so that not even accidentally will I ever hear your voice again.
Are you sure you don't want my autograph, old fellow?
15 minutes, Mr. Whiteside.
Say, can she cook? really quitting you after all these years.
She is.
Well, that means we've only got till 1 o'clock to do it.
No, we have exactly 15 minutes. 14 minutes. In which you pull out of my hat the damnedest rabbit that you've ever seen.
What do you mean 15 minutes?
In exactly 15 minutes, baby's rosy little body is being tossed out into the snow. My coat has worn out the warrant. I'm being kicked out.
I've never heard of such a thing. What would you do a thing like that for?
Never mind, never mind. That's not the point. Banjo, the master, is growing a little desperate.
And he's not all in the cards on the table with Lorraine.
Now, Banjo, you know Dream Girl as well as I do. What do you think?
Yeah, you're right.
Why don't you go and talk to Maggie just for a minute, right in there? I want to think.
You know, if I knew where Lorraine was, I could get a car and run her over. It wouldn't hurt me.
Please, Banjo, I've got to think.
Excuse me, is this the YMCA? Is this your father? Oh, you idiots.
Very hard suggestions? I'm sorry, Richard. Very sorry indeed. I just wish that I were in a position.
Well, you're not in position. Thank you very much, officer. Here's a little something for your time. Richard, will you go upstairs, please? 10 minutes, Mr. Whiteside.
I brought you some orange juice, Mr. Whiteside. Are you feeling any better?
Superb, John. Any cyanide in that orange juice? Answer the door, will you? No, probably some friends.
That crazy guy made a great thing with Sarah. He wanted to do a screen test.
Good morning. Whiteside up yet? Merry Christmas! I hope that Christmas breakfast with you, my dear, may I?
Of course, my sprite. John, get a tray from the Sheldon. Better make it 1 minute eggs.
You know, it's the most perfect Christmas morning. The snow is absolutely glistening. But I can't get out.
Oh, I'll probably see a bit of it. I hear you're off for Lake Placid, my blossom.
Oh, no, Sherry, is Bert here?
No, he rolled in a little while ago. Worked rather fast, didn't you, dear?
Oh, darling, I was just swept off my feet by the play. It's fantastically good. You know, darling, it's the kind of part that comes along once in 10 years. I'm so grateful to you. Really, darling, sometimes I think that you're the only friend I have in the world.
Thank you. Say, what time did you say you were leaving? You and Jefferson?
I don't know, 4 o'clock, I think. No, quite apart from everything else, Bert is a very attractive man. It makes it rather a pleasure squaring accounts with little Miss Vitriol. In fact, everything's worked out beautifully. Sherry Lamb, I want to get you the most beautiful present in the world. Now, what do you want? Anything. I'm so deliriously happy that... That sounds like Banjo. Is he here?
He is, my dear. Just the family circle gathering at Christmas time. My, how time flies when you're having fun.
Why, hello there, sweetie pants. How you doing?
Very well, Banjo. And you?
Oh, I'm fine, fine. Say, how's the mattress business anyway, Lorraine?
Very funny. It's too bad, Banjo, that your pictures aren't as funny as you seem to think you are.
Ooh, you got me there, Mama. Lorraine? Anything in the wind, Whiteside?
Not a glimmer.
What kind of...
10 minutes.
What ship is this?
I've listened to everything except the New Year's Eve broadcast. Wasn't there a schedule on that?
Yes, I think it's over there on the table someplace.
Thank you.
Oh, New Year's Eve! Oh, Bert and I'll hear that in Lake Placid! Oh, you were up at my cottage there once, weren't you, Sherry? Oh, it's lovely, isn't it? Away from everything, just cold, clear night. Oh, it must be Bert now! I told him to meet me here. You know I'm really looking forward to Lake Placid. Bert's the kind of man who will do all winter's fun beautifully!
Will we get time? Yes, sir. Watch the walls, please.
It's just what I needed right now. An Egyptian mummy.
To Mr. Whiteside from the Khedive of Egypt.
There was an absolute halo about you.
Oh, why, Sherry, how sweet.
It transcended any mortal expression I'd ever seen. Oh, step into it again, dear.
Sherry, you're joshing me, aren't you?
My dear, I don't make light of these things. I was deeply moved. Why, there was a strange beauty about you as you stood in that case. Pure Da Vinci. Oh, please do it again, dear.
Well, I don't know exactly what it was I did, but I'll try to... Oh, I can't, Sherry. I mean to. It's silly.
Lorraine, dear, in that one single moment, you approached the epitome of your art, and you shouldn't be ashamed of it. You asked me a little while ago what I wanted for a Christmas present. And what I want, Lorraine, is the memory of you in that mummy case.
My darling. I'm all choked up. Dust thou art, and dust
Sure, she can bring me the tea. We'll take her off when we get out of the plane. Say, how do we get this thing out of here?
Oh, one thing at a time, that's the next step.
Sherry.
Think fast, Ted. Think fast.
Well, that was everything. I'm leaving 3 carpets. Is there anything you want down here? Well, what's in your basket?
No.
Would you like me to file that letter? What would you want done with this picture?
Throw everything away. No, wait. I want the picture. Yes, I want the picture.
The only thing I haven't done is to put all your broadcasts in order. Do you want me to do that?
What? Oh, yes, it's very important. You do it right away.
I'll see you before I go, Bento.
I've got it. This is what's going to get us out of here.
What picture?
The time is up, Mr. Whiteside. 15 minutes.
Ah, yes, 15 minutes, Mr. Stanley. Oh, but just one more favor before I go. Would you summon those gentlemen to come in here and help this young man down to the airport with his mummy case? Would you be so kind as to do that?
I will do nothing, Mr. Kind.
Oh, I think you will, Mr. Stanley. Or shall I inform my radio audience on my next broadcast that your sister, Harriet Stanley, is none other than the famous Harriet Sedley, who murdered her mother and father with an axe more than 25 years ago? Oh, come now, Mr. Stanley. It's a very small favor. Or would you rather have the people of this area repeating at your very doorstep that once popular little jingle?
Harriet Sedley took an axe and gave her mother 40 whacks, and when the job was nicely done, she gave her father 40 whacks.
Mr. Whiteside, you are the damnedest person I have ever met.
You'll late to be finding that out. Officers, would you come in here, please?
Whiteside, you're a great man.
Oh, officers. Yes, Mr. Stanley would like you to help this gentleman down to the airport with his mummy case. Sending it to a friend in Nova Scotia.
Collect.
Right, Mr. Stanley?
Yes, yes.
Banjo, you're wonderful. And I may write a book about you someday.
Oh, don't bother, I can't read. Goodbye, Maggie. Love conquers all. And be careful with that case, boys. It contains an antique.
Sherry, what was
It
that?
was indeed. Ah, my coat, Heather. My coat, Maggie.
What?
I'm going to New York.
Sherry? Wait a minute, you're leaving?
Don't argue with me, rat girl. Just do as you're told.
Mr. Whiteside, I want to apologize.
Say, don't give it a thought, Bert. Plans have changed a little. Ah, Miss Sheldon is off on a world cruise. I'm taking her play to Catherine Cornell. Maggie will explain everything.
Maggie.
Maggie, you're wonderful.
Mr. Whiteside, are you still busy, or?
Ah, yes, Doctor. If you ever come to New York, just try and find me.
Oh, right, I will.
Goodbye, Jefferson. You'll never know the trouble you've caused.
Goodbye, Mr. Whiteside.
Goodbye, Mr. Stanley. Oh, I would like to hear in the near future that your daughter has married your young man, and that your son has been permitted to follow his own bent. everybody. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Maggie, what is all this? I didn't even know he could walk even.
It's all right, Bert. You're too young to understand. Just go down.
Something's happening. What's going on? What's happening?
Oh no! Sherry!
Miss Green! Miss Green! I want my Miss Green!
What's going on?
Miss